Open this gate right now. I am the president of this community. You can't block me.
I'm not blocking you, Susan. I'm just charging you. This is a private toll road now. That'll be $50.
I'm calling the police. You're going to jail.
She thought she owned the neighborhood. She thought she could tow his truck. But she forgot one tiny detail. The road she drives on every single day actually belongs to him. Welcome back to Voices of Freedom. This is the story of how one veteran turned a corrupt HOA president's arrogance into cold, hard cash. It's a story about maps, property lines, and the sweetest revenge ever served. Question of the day: if you found out the main road to your neighborhood was actually your land, would you block it, yes or no? Let me know in the comments. And please, destroy that subscribe button just like Tom destroyed her ego. Let's get into it. Tom was a simple man, a retired Vietnam veteran who lived on a large plot of land that his grandfather bought back in the 1950s. He didn't care about luxury. He cared about his dog, his peace, and his truck. His truck was a 1985 Chevy. It was loud. It was rusty. It leaked a little oil. But to Tom, it was a memory of his late father. He parked it proudly on the street in front of his house every day. But the neighborhood was changing. A new luxury subdivision, Royal Oaks, was built right next to Tom's land. And with it came a new HOA president, Susan. Susan wanted Royal Oaks to look like a magazine cover. She hated anything old. She hated anything dirty. And most of all, she hated Tom's truck. It started on a Monday. Tom walked out to find a bright orange sticker on his windshield. Violation: unsightly vehicle parked on community roadway. Remove immediately or face fines. Tom was confused. He wasn't even in the HOA. His house was built before the HOA existed. He crumpled up the note and threw it in the trash. Susan didn't like being ignored. 2 days later, she showed up at his door. She didn't say hello. She pointed at the truck. "You need to move that piece of junk. It's lowering our property values. This is a respectable community, not a junkyard." Tom crossed his arms. "Ma'am, I don't belong to your HOA, and this is a public street. I can park where I want." Susan smiled that terrifying HOA smile. "Actually, Tom, you're wrong. When the developer built Royal Oaks, they paved this road. It is now a private HOA roadway. And since you are parked on our road, you follow our rules." She dropped a bombshell. "Move it by tomorrow or I'm towing it." Tom couldn't sleep. He knew his grandfather had owned hundreds of acres here. He went to his attic and dug out a dusty metal box. Inside were the original property deeds from 1955. He spread the map out on his table. He grabbed a magnifying glass. He traced the property line. And then he started laughing. The map clearly showed the boundary. When the developers built the new entrance road for Royal Oaks, they wanted to save money. Instead of going around Tom's land, they cut a corner. They paved 50 feet of asphalt right across Tom's property. They never asked permission. They never paid for an easement. That private HOA road wasn't theirs. It was Tom's. Tom didn't want to guess. He wanted proof. He hired a licensed surveyor the next morning. The surveyor measured, checked the GPS, and hammered a stake into the ground. The surveyor looked at Tom. "Yep, you see that main gate? It's sitting about 10 feet inside your property line. The entire entrance road is yours." Tom could have sued them. But Susan had threatened his truck. She had insulted his father's memory. He wanted something better than a lawsuit. He wanted justice. He went to the hardware store. He bought a heavy-duty boom gate, some yellow paint, and a large piece of plywood. While Susan was at work, Tom went to work. He installed the gate post directly into the asphalt on his property line. He painted a sign, "Private Toll Road, Cash Only." The neighbors watched in shock. They thought he was crazy. Tom just kept working. By 4 p.m., the toll booth was ready. Tom sat in a lawn chair next to his new gate. He waited. He waved at the nice neighbors and let them pass for free. He told them, "Don't worry, the toll is only for one person." And then at 5:15 p.m. he saw it. The black Mercedes. Susan was coming home. Susan slowed down. She saw the gate. She honked her horn, expecting it to open automatically. It didn't move. She honked again. Beep, beep. Tom stood up slowly. He walked over to her window. He tapped on the glass. "What is this?" "Who put this here? Move this garbage out of my way immediately." "Evening, Susan. Can't do that." "This is a private road." "My private road. If you want to cross my land, you have to pay the toll." Susan's face turned purple. 50? You are insane. I own this road. The HOA owns this road. She grabbed her phone. I'm calling the police. You are going to be arrested for hijacking. Tom just leaned back. Go ahead, Susan. Call them.
I'll wait.
10 minutes later, a sheriff's deputy pulled up. Susan jumped out of her car, pointing at Tom. Officer, arrest him. He blocked the road. He's trying to extort me. The officer looked at the gate. He looked at Tom. Sir, you can't block a public roadway. Tom smiled. It's not public, officer, and it's not HOA. Here is the deed, and here is the survey completed this morning. The officer studied the map. He looked at the survey stake in the ground. He looked back at Susan. His expression changed from serious to amused. The officer turned to Susan. Ma'am, he's right. According to this survey, you are currently trespassing on his private property. He has every right to charge an access fee. Susan gasped. But I have to get home. The officer shrugged. Then I suggest you pay the man. Or you can back up and drive 10 miles around to the back entrance. Your choice. With the entire neighborhood watching, Susan opened her purse. Her hands were shaking with rage. She pulled out a crisp $50 bill and shoved it at Tom. Tom checked the bill to make sure it wasn't fake. He smiled. Thank you for your business. Drive safe. He lifted the gate. The HOA had to pay. Tom $50,000 the next month to buy that strip of land legally. Tom used the money to buy a brand new lift kit for his truck. If you loved seeing Susan pay up, hit the like button. Subscribe for more stories of justice. This is Voices of Freedom.